Have you ever wondered, how much does illegal immigration cost us, the American taxpayers? Today, we're delving into the economic impact of illegal immigration. This topic is far-reaching, touching on aspects of our lives from education to healthcare. It's a complex issue with significant financial implications, and understanding it is key to informed policy-making and personal decision-making alike. So, we're going to break it down. Let's unpack the dollar figure state by state and see how it impacts you. When it comes to the cost of illegal immigration, numbers can paint a fascinating picture. Let's dive right into the crux of the matter. The cost of illegal immigration varies greatly from state to state, presenting a complex numerical landscape. For instance, in states like California and Texas, with their vast expanses and high populations, the costs are astronomical, reaching into the billions each year. This is due in large part to the high number of undocumented immigrants residing there. On the other end of the spectrum, smaller states like Vermont and North Dakota bear a significantly lighter fiscal burden. But don't let the smaller numbers fool you. When you consider these costs relative to the state's overall budgets, the impact is still quite substantial. Now, let's consider why these costs vary so dramatically. Factors such as geographic location, economic climate, and state-level immigration policies all play a role. Border states, for instance, face unique challenges related to border enforcement and security. These states often bear the brunt of the costs associated with illegal immigration. Similarly, states with robust economies often attract a larger number of undocumented immigrants in search of work, driving up the associated costs. As for state-level immigration policies, those with more lenient policies may experience higher costs due to an increased demand for public services. But remember, these costs aren't just numbers on a page, they represent real impacts on state budgets and, by extension, on the services available to all residents. Things like education, healthcare, and public safety can all be affected by the financial strain of illegal immigration. However, it's also important to keep in mind that these figures only represent one side of the equation. Illegal immigrants also contribute to the economy in various ways, such as through labor and taxes. But that's a discussion for another scene. As we can see, the costs vary widely, but what's clear is that they are substantial. But what exactly are these costs? Where does the money go? Let's break down the costs associated with illegal immigration. We'll focus on four main categories: healthcare, education, law enforcement, and public assistance. First, we have healthcare. Illegal immigrants, like all people, need medical care. However, without legal status, they often lack access to health insurance. This leads to a higher reliance on emergency rooms and public health clinics, which are required by law to provide care regardless of immigration status. The costs of this uncompensated care are absorbed by the healthcare system and ultimately borne by American taxpayers. Next, let's talk about education. In the United States, every child has the right to a free public education, regardless of their immigration status. This includes children of illegal immigrants. Providing this education is a significant expense, as it includes everything from teachers' salaries to school supplies, and even the cost of additional English language learner programs. Then we have law enforcement. The costs here include everything from the initial apprehension of illegal immigrants to their detention, legal proceedings, and eventual deportation. These costs can add up quickly, putting a strain on law enforcement agencies' budgets and diverting resources from other important tasks. Lastly, public assistance. While illegal immigrants are generally ineligible for most federal public benefits, there are exceptions. For example, they can receive short-term, non-cash, in-kind emergency disaster relief and public health assistance for immunizations and treatment of certain communicable diseases. These services, while essential, do come at a cost. In each of these areas, healthcare, education, law enforcement, and public assistance, illegal immigration imposes significant costs that impact overall state budgets. It's important to note, however, that the exact amount varies from state to state, depending on factors like the size of the illegal immigrant population and the specific policies in place. This breakdown gives us a clearer picture of where the money goes, but let's delve deeper. Beyond the clear-cut numbers, there are hidden costs to illegal immigration that often go unnoticed. Let's delve into these unspoken aspects that lurk beneath the surface. Firstly, we have job displacement. While it's a common argument that illegal immigrants take up jobs that citizens don't want, it's equally valid that they also compete for low-skilled jobs that many citizens would gladly take. This displacement can lead to higher unemployment rates among certain demographics, particularly among those without a college degree. Now, let's talk about wage suppression. The influx of illegal immigrants willing to work for less than the minimum wage inevitably drives down the wages for everyone in that job sector. This wage suppression can affect not only the low-skilled workers, but also the broader economy. It's a ripple effect that can lead to decreased spending power and a slower economic growth. Then there's the strain on public resources. Illegal immigrants, like all people, need access to healthcare, education, and other public services. But unlike legal residents who pay taxes, they often contribute little to the funding of these resources. This imbalance can put a significant strain on state budgets and lead to a decrease in the quality of services for everyone. Moreover, there are costs associated with law enforcement, border control, and immigration courts. These are necessary expenses to maintain the rule of law, but they can quickly add up and represent a significant portion of the overall cost. Finally, it's worth mentioning the social costs. These are intangible and hard to measure, but they're real nonetheless. The presence of illegal immigrants can lead to social tension and cultural clashes, which can have a profound impact on the community cohesion and the quality of life. These hidden costs, while harder to quantify, further increase the total cost of illegal immigration. They're like the part of the iceberg below the water, not immediately visible but formidable and impactful. It's crucial that we bring these costs into the light and consider them in our discussions and policy decisions. So how do these costs shape our immigration policies? From the vast halls of Congress to the local city council meetings, the costs of illegal immigration are a central theme in policy discussions. It's a complex issue that intertwines economics, human rights, and national security, but today we're focusing on the economic aspect and how it influences policy decisions. At the state level, where budgets are often tighter and the impact of illegal immigration can be more directly felt, these costs can significantly influence policy making. In states where illegal immigration is high, we often see policies that aim to mitigate the financial strain. This can take the form of stricter employment laws, tighter regulations on social services, or even law enforcement initiatives targeting illegal immigration. Conversely, in states where illegal immigration is less prevalent or where the economy benefits from the labor of undocumented immigrants, policies may be more lenient. These states may adopt sanctuary policies limiting cooperation with federal immigration enforcement, or they may provide certain benefits to undocumented immigrants, like access to education or healthcare. Nationally, the cost of illegal immigration is a key component in the debate over immigration reform and border security. Those advocating for stricter immigration policies often point to these costs as a compelling reason for change. They argue for increased border security, stricter visa enforcement, and policy changes that would discourage illegal immigration. On the other side of the aisle, those advocating for comprehensive immigration reform argue that the current system is broken and that these costs are a symptom of that. They propose solutions that include not only improving border security but also creating pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants already in the country. The cost of illegal immigration is not just about dollars and cents, it's about people and their lives. It's about our values as a nation. But it's also about our economic reality, and that reality plays a significant role in shaping the policies we adopt. The cost of illegal immigration in many ways informs the policy dialogue around this contentious issue. So, what have we learned today about the cost of illegal immigration? Let's take a minute to jog our memory. The cost of illegal immigration is far more complex than a simple dollar sign. We've journeyed through the landscape of each state, uncovering the varying costs incurred due to illegal immigration. From the sun-kissed coast of California to the bustling streets of New York, we discovered that these costs are not uniform. They fluctuate, influenced by factors like population size, economic conditions, and existing immigration policies. We then took a deep dive into the breakdown of costs, dissecting how expenses are distributed across education, healthcare, and law enforcement sectors. Remember how we marveled at the staggering amount being funneled into these areas? We also shed light on the hidden costs, those that lurk beneath the surface. These are the indirect costs that ripple through our economy, causing a domino effect that touches everything from job markets to public safety. Finally, we touched upon the policy perspective. We explored how understanding these costs can guide policy making, aiding lawmakers in crafting informed, effective strategies. We discussed how a comprehensive grasp of these costs can help foster a balanced, nuanced conversation on immigration. While the debate on illegal immigration will continue, understanding its cost is crucial to forming informed opinions and policies.